He is back in another main event, taking on Reinier de Ridder in the main event from UFC Vancouver. It is always my great pleasure to catch up with Brendan Allen. Brendan, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm living. It's all good.
Brendan, I appreciate the time as always. Obviously, weird circumstances how this one came about, but I know you're a guy who's always up for a challenge. So, like, how did this one come about? Was it just as easy as them giving you a call and say, "Hey, are you interested?" Because I know they talked to Paulo Costa. We heard rumors. So, like, how did it happen for you to get this fight with Reinier?
I heard my name was put in the hat, and it was between me and Paulo. I would assume they wanted Paulo because he has more followers, so he could put more asses in the seats. But a better fight was probably me, like as far as the actual fight itself. So I don't know. Apparently, it came out later that Paulo asked for all kinds of stupid stuff. You know, he likes to make demands or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it ended up being me, and flew to Chicago the next day, and here we are.
I never fault anyone for not taking a short notice fight because man, this is your career. I get it. Like not everyone's going to do it, but when you heard, I mean, listen, you got the fight. It's over and said and done now. But like, did you laugh when you heard like that Paulo was making all these demands about like 5 rounds to 3 rounds? I heard and he wanted maybe a date change. I don't remember all the things I heard. I don't know how much of it was true, but like, did you laugh? Because I know you're kind of the guy like when they call you, you're just like, let's go.
I didn't find out till after, like the week later, when he gets in his little ways where he posts on social media all the time and stuff. So I didn't find any of that out till later, from the Ritter and his little social media stuff. But I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Like to me, it's like I don't understand where he gets to like kind of make almost demands. And I don't know if it was a demand. I don't know how the conversation went. I have no idea. So this is just going based off of what I saw on the social media tiff. But uh yeah, man, it's just an opportunity, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, he's ranked behind me, I think. So it's like it's an opportunity, not really in a spot to make requests or demands or anything. So it's just you take it or you don't. It's that simple. When you don't take it, somebody else will.
100%. Before we get to the new matchup, I haven't had a chance to talk to you since your last one. I know we talked beforehand. Obviously, congratulations on going out there, getting the win over Marvin, getting it in home. Now that it's all said and done, like, what was that experience like? Because I know you were like super excited for that, but also like staying focused because you knew like you were fighting at home, you're fighting in New Orleans, maybe a once in a lifetime kind of thing for UFC. So, like, how is it now that you've had like time to reflect on it?
To be honest, man, it was the best experience out of my like fighting career. Just everything as a whole couldn't have been more perfect. So it was just a great night, great memory, and just that. It's just a great memory now at this point.
You couldn't have written a better ending. I mean, you get fight of the night, you go out there, but you also get to vanquish a guy, Marvin Vettori, who I know you didn't like. There was a lot of history there, a lot of talk going into the fight. Was it kind of like the perfect combination? Like you got to fight at home in New Orleans, you got a bonus, and you got to get rid of a guy that I know you were kind of like itching to finally fight him after all this time.
Yeah, I mean the only thing better would have been if I finished him, but I still think I dominated him for 3 rounds. I just bullied him. So outside not finishing him, yeah, I would say it was pretty spot on.
Yeah. So let me ask you because obviously we talked ahead of your last fight and you mentioned like the change you'd made going up to Chicago, working with Bilal Muhammad, the guys up there in that team. And obviously I know you worked a lot of your career down at Killcliff down in Florida. And obviously Rainier trains down there. Can I ask like how familiar were you with him? Because I know he hasn't been in that team forever. Like he's not like been there for years and years and years, but you were there for a long time. I know you when you told me last time there was no bad blood, you just wanted to change the scenery and kind of switch things up, and it obviously paid off. Working with the team in Chicago. So, like, how did you know him at all? Did you train with him at all? Because I know, I'm sure you've heard what he said, or maybe you haven't heard what he said.
I don't know what he said. What did he say?
He said that like you were you didn't want to train with him. Basically, is more or less what he said. You didn't have any interest in training with him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. For me, I have enough friends in this division. I have guys that I won't fight unless they say my name. If they say my name, then we're gonna get it, and they all know that from the very beginning. Um, and for gold, I'll fight anyone in the world. Um, so with that being said, yeah, I'm not your friend. Don't want to be your friend. I'm not going to disrespect you. If you disrespect me, then we'll have that problem. Um, I'm not going to help you. I don't want your help for me. It's kind of the way I looked at it. I know eventually we were going to fight because I had been asking him for him since he comes to the UFC. So before he was even training there, and then I, I, to be honest, like I got asked for every like middleweight they wanted to come to our gym. I was asked, "Hey, you cool with it?" Like Imavov came to the gym. They asked me before we were supposed to even fight. I was like, "Yeah, for sure, it'd be cool. Have a new look." Then we fight. He stayed where he was at, and then after he was like, "Hey man, do you mind if I come?" The team even asked me, "Hey, do you mind if I come?" Nah, cool. I appreciate the respect. Uh, Never was asked nothing for him. Never. So I was like, "All right, well, fuck me. Well, fuck you too. How about that?" So not towards him, but towards whoever made that call.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, listen, you've moved on. I'm not trying to like stir up bad blood or anything, but like, it's one of those things that kind of bug you because I know you've been there for a long time. Like, you were kind of a mainstay in that gym and being down there, training down there. And listen, I know that, listen, it's a big team. I remember when I was an American top team and they had, a million guys down there, but not everyone trained with everyone. That was the benefit of being in that team. Like, some guys were coached by Mike Brown, some guys were coached by Conan Silveira, and I know there's a big team down at Killcliff. Did it just kind of bug you that like you've been there and other times they'd approach you and this time they just didn't even bother to ask?
Yeah, it did. But I'm also, I don't know, man. To be honest, when you've been around the game a long enough time, you kind of expect certain things from certain people, and you just learn people are people. Like they're gonna do what they want for the most part. Majority of them are gonna do what benefits them in the long run. And it is what it is. Like it's business. So um, yeah, it's. I just try to keep it as just that. It is what it is. You expect certain things from certain people. Even if you don't expect it, you just kind of let it roll off. So this is kind of one of those things. Um, it is what it is. They kind of, some people have said like, oh, well, he moved his whole family down here. Well, it's not my problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my problem. Uh,
Yeah.
as insensitive or however that you want to classify that, but that's not my problem. So, to me, I was the king of that gym, or one of them, if not the top dog. I was one of the damn top dogs, and mm, you know, whatever business move for them is what it is.
Yeah, well, I remember when we spoke before the Vettori fight, you had told me about like switching things up, going to Chicago, working with Blau and those guys, and
Mhm.
obviously at that point you had no idea you're going to fight RDR. So none of this mattered. But like, do you feel like this, in a weird way, it did kind of work out perfectly that you did kind of move on and you found a new team, you've been working with those guys? Because it could have been a conflict, you know what I mean? Like we've seen that before. We've seen it tear teams apart. I remember when Tyron Woodley was fighting Robbie Lawler. That became a very ugly thing down there, and Robbie ends up leaving. I know it became a very ugly situation down there. So were you happy in the long run, like you had kind of already not knowing you were going to fight him, but like you'd already kind of moved on before this even happened?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd been asking for him since he got into the UFC. So, the whole thing coming to stem is like I'm one of those guys. I'm kind of like gang. I'm loyal to my friends, especially the ones I'm close with. Maybe I'm too loyal at some points, but you know, I know like Ungalov fought him twice and he lost and had those emotions and the things that come with a loss. And um, at the time, he was my good friend. Like he would come over to Tuco's house where I was staying. We would go over to his house and know his wife, his kids. He knew my wife, my kids, and you know, um, it's just it started from there. Like, all right, you beat him, so now if I get the opportunity, I'm gonna fuck you up. Then he beat my friend Gerald, a close fight, got tired, whatever. Which I've known Gerald for a long time. All right, so now if I ever get the opportunity, I'm gonna show you. But then he comes to Killcliff, and many guys are buddy with him and stuff. That's just not me. Like I'm not fake. Like you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it how I feel. You like it, don't like it, I don't really care. You ask me the question, and I have the right to my opinion, even if it's wrong according to someone else. But if you like, everyone knows Tuco's my best friend. You say fuck Tuco, well then it's fuck you. Like that's how I feel. Don't come try to like buddy up to me or and that's just kind of where it stems from. It's not like anything personal really. Um, It's like they're just my friends. Like I'm loyal to my friends. So look at it how you want, but yeah, I'm not buddy buddy with him. I don't disrespect the guy, but it is what it is. If he disrespects me, then I don't know.
Yeah. Can I ask Brendan, like, what have you made of Reinier's performances in the UFC? I mean, coming in and obviously you mentioned he fought Gerald, obviously fought Kevin Holland, and then goes out there and beats Bo Nickel, and you know Bo's an incredible wrestler. I think still very green in his MMA game. Goes out there and has a battle with Robert Whitaker, and credit to him, like he got the job done. Robert Whitaker is a legend, and I don't know where he's at in his career, but it was a very good win. So I'm just kind of curious, like, what have you thought of what you've seen of him in the UFC?
Nothing impressive. It's nothing like where you see a guy and you're like, oh, that guy could be, that guy's talented, or he's got something. He's got whatever that it is. No, I don't see none of that from him. He fought. Who was his first fight?
Gerald was his first fight, I think. Gerald was his
Okay,
debut.
yep. And I remember Gerald was at the gym, and then DeRitter. See, that's another thing. Then DeRitter was at the gym, and like they're allowing both to train, like kind of there for. That was just doesn't seem right to me. But I don't make those calls. It's not my business. So what? You got Gerald, then Kevin. Like he tapped Kevin. Yeah, I tapped Kevin too in my debut, however many years ago. Um, but Kevin's a 70-year, really. Obviously, he plays his role and goes back and forth, but he's a 70-year. Come on. And he shot right off the bat, literally, like the first like 2 seconds. Uh, let's see. Who was after that? Bo Nickel? Bo Nichols is just a good wrestler. He's green. He's so young in the game, and I don't really put a whole lot. Like I think Bo Nickel will be good one day if he sticks to it, but it's tough learning on the job at this level. Um, so again, I don't think he beats Bo Nickel in 2, 3 years from now. Like I think Bo's a different guy then, more mature in the game and stuff like that. But anyway, and then you beat Rob Whitaker. Great name, but it's just that it's a great name. He's not the guy he was when he was champion. Um, I've said before in other interviews, evolution's a real thing, and Father Time gets the best of all of us. Those miles catch up to us. Those wars, those high level training camps, and the abuse on your all that stuff adds up and it catches up. And to me, it's caught up with Rob a little bit. And like, can he still compete? For sure. Like I say, he's washed, but it's like I just mean for that level. Like he's not ready for top five anymore. Like sorry, I'm just being honest. Like he's just not there anymore. He's reached a level that many people will never ever reach. So hats off to him for what he's accomplished. But there's a time, and there's going to be my time eventually to step down and let the young bucks take over. And yeah, that's just kind of my approach and how I see Whitaker. Again, he could still beat a lot of guys outside the top 10, top 15. He could beat a lot of guys probably in the top 15. The top five's a little bit different, and it just is what it is. It's just time, and so that one doesn't really impress me. And it was super close. They would have impressed me if he would have went out there and submitted him within like 4 rounds or at any point in the fight or something like that. Then okay, yeah, I'd probably be impressed. But no, he's like it didn't happen. It was a very very close fight. So
Yeah, kind of like Chimaev. Like when Chimaev went out there and did what he did to Whitaker, like that's a little more impressive, right? When you go out there and
exactly. When you go out there and do that, then you got everyone's attention.
yeah. With that being said, like I remember talking to you after the Fluffy fight, and like you were obviously disappointed, and you kind of reset, and you mentioned obviously going up to Chicago, work with those guys. You come back and you have that performance against Marvin at home, in Louisiana. You put on a very dominant performance. I know no one win or race is to pass, but I know you've been on this quest to get into title contention for a while now. Do you feel like beating a guy like RDR with the run he's been on and the hype he's getting, like this does kind of put you back to where you want to be? I know it doesn't erase the M Evolve or the Fluffy fight, but obviously there's a lot of hype. I mean, you're like where RDR's at right now. Like they're basically between him and M Evolve, who's going to get the title shot. You beat him, you feel like you're right back to where you want to be.
For sure. I mean, I feel like at that point, politics play a big role. Um, say it how you want. Like my loss to Fluffy was very close. If you watch the fight, break it down what the rule set is, and really pay attention. It's arguable that I won now, but if you do that, I think you lean towards me. Like I think I won. Like I've watched the fight as just a guy watching learning the rules. Like and after the fight, I went and learned like explicitly what the rules are. I had deep conversations about why they look at this or what should be looked at here. Like, what is the actual like criteria? So watching the fight since then, I think it's just opinion based. Do you think it comes down to the third round? I definitely beat him in the first. He beat me in the second because I was just lazy. Like I just didn't care. Um, and then it came down to the third. I stuffed his takedown, rocked him well. Then he was holding on to me for what 2.5, 3 minutes. I should have put more effort in to get up, but I didn't. I was still punching him, so I had effective striking. He had effective grappling. He had control for I think it was 2:45 or 3 minutes and something, right around that 2:45 to 3. We'll just say 3 minutes. He had majority control. So does my effective striking and damage and fight ending intentions outweigh his effective grappling and control time?
Yeah.
Those judges said no. I think if you look at a fight, damage, fight ending intentions, and then if I had effective striking, he had effective grappling. Which one was more had more intentions to win the fight?
Yeah, I mean damage is supposed to be the number one thing. Whoever does more damage in a round, and then you start going down the criteria. Like if damage is equal, then you look at effective striking and grappling. Damage is supposed to be number one. Whoever does the most damage in a round wins the round. That's supposed to be the way it's scored.
Well, I didn't have a mark on my face really after if I had one purple dot right here for the last 5 seconds where I was trying to hammer fist him and he just came down with a little elbow. But his eye was cut, I think, close to the skull, so and he was dripping blood for the next two. So, that's one of those ones, but it is what it is. It still shows an L on my record, but I can go out here and start the Ridder and everything's gonna be like, oh, you still lost to Fluffy. It shows a loss, but watch the fight, you know?
It's kind of like what you said with the Whitaker fight. Like if he had gone out there, you get a knockout, you submit the guy. It's different than having a razor close decision. Like that. Like you can still kind of hold your head up to look at the scoring and say, well, I should have gotten the nod that night.
Yeah, like I can go to the Imavov fight, right? Like I wasn't 100% good body wise, but that's no excuse. I still took the fight. I still stepped in there. I could have pulled, but I didn't. And I walked in there and I beat him where he's best at. I beat him at striking. I made shitty takedowns and like sloppy as hell. And the perception that it gave with me trying to shoot sloppy shots, him stuffing it, me pulling guard for a connection to try to sweep or submit, and him even just swinging. Like a lot of them didn't even like hit me; they were hitting my guard. But it's still the perception, and I can watch that fight back and look at the rules and say I lost that fight on perception. Again, it comes down to the third round, and I shot sloppy shots. Tried to pull guard. He gave the perception of he was hitting me and doing damage and controlling those areas. But on the feet, I was landing more shots. I was landing bigger shots. I was walking forward. So and that's his where he makes his money. So uh, yeah, I mean, you could say words, words are words, right? Like I just look at the facts. Like we can sit here and watch the tape, break down the tape, and have a conversation and see like based on actual facts of criteria that's written in black and white. Da 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 da. Like that's kind of how I look at it. But again, it'll be politics, and for some reason, people don't really care for me too much. I don't know who I upset, but fuck, whatever. I don't
Well,
care.
listen, I know, no one takes a moral victory from a loss, but I mean, at the end of the day, you had two very close fights and losses, and you look at, what those guys have done since then, like Imavov, like goes out there and knocks out Israel Adesanya, and you look at, what Fluffy did, like Fluffy absolutely dominated Roman Dolidze and beat him on the ground, like he obviously none of that happened when you fought them. And to
No.
that point, and I know you've addressed this. I don't want to make you rehash what you said on Instagram, leading into this, but I know a lot of the narrative of this fight is built around you guys both have a grappling background because that's kind of what RDR's bread and butter has been, even with the Bo Nickel fight. Like he showed off his grappling in the Bo Nickel fight, and obviously you end up knocking him out with the body shot or finishing with the body shot. But just taking away the MMA aspect, which we can't really do that. But I'm just saying, like in the pure grappling aspect, I know you said like you're very confident. There's nothing you're afraid of him when it comes to his grappling in this fight.
No, he brings nothing to the table I've never seen, never dealt with. I've grappled way better grapplers, way more, or grapplers with way more accolades. Um, so yeah, and I do my best with guys that are big, like tall, long guys. those are the best rounds for me and the best fights for me because they have to create the same, if not more, space than I do when I am in those same positions. To create scrambles or to get up. So um, it's very normal to me. It's not anything foreign. So little guys have less room, less to create, and it's just harder to keep certain positions and to stop them from scrambling, especially at a high level. So um, yeah, there's nothing. But the difference between me and him is the damage that's done on top. Like watch the guys that I fight. Look how they look after. 90% of them are got cuts on their face, black eyes, like they're pretty messed up. Um, Most of his guys, you can't say that. So um, that's kind of the difference. I feel like I'm not scared to go to the ground with him whatsoever. Is he scared to go to the ground with me? Probably not. I don't think he's scared of anything. But man, he's got a lot more things to worry about than I do. A lot more things to worry about. My striking's way better than his. But the thing about his is it's very awkward. And awkward takes a second to get used to, and he gets that's where he starts getting his wheels turning and starting to go. And he just carries that pace the way through. Like he's good at doing that. He's made a career off of it and a good career at that. So, like I've been saying, like he's never fought a guy like me, young, hungry, just as big, probably stronger. Um, I would say even more tested. Like I fought way better competition. I've been at a high level for a long time. I've got 17 fights in the UFC, and I'm not even 30. Um, all four of my losses in the UFC were all top 15 at one point. One's a former champion, one's number one contender, one's a top six, top seven. Another one's doing drop down a weight class now, and he's top. If he's not yet, he will be. So yeah, like everyone I lost to is in close fights or getting caught was top dogs. I'm not fighting no scrubs. Every fight's kind of a big fight. And this one's no different. Um, but we're gonna see.
It's funny you said that right before we talked. We speak a lot. We do a lot of interviews before your fights, before and after your fights. And I looked at your record and I was like, God, you're still only 29. I was like, man, that's crazy. With as much experience as you have, you're still only 29, which is kind of wild. And I know you mentioned that, like, on paper, we're all like, ooh, grappling versus grappling. But I think when you add in the other aspects, the actual MMA aspects, I think that's where the difference kind of lies on your side, right? Because you don't have to grapple him. You can grapple him, but you don't have to grapple him to win a fight. Whereas it feels like the other side, like he feels like he needs to grapple to win, if that makes sense.
For sure. When I'm in there, like I don't know, maybe it's how my dad raised me and my brother. But man, I when I get hit, I like to fight. Like I like it. Like when I feel that rawness and I'm mentally like focused and ready and prepared. Fuck man, I enjoy it. Like I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed that with Marvin. Like you hit me, I hit you. Let's see who comes forward, who shows it's hurt, who's talking shit, who's pointing, who's talking. Like I love that. Like that's I don't know. It's just something like in my soul, I guess. That like I love that. I don't like it when someone comes to freaking hold me or hug me the whole time. Like come fight me, come try to hurt me. Like I want to feel that like endangerment. Like I want to feel like you're trying to severely hurt me. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a sadistic person, but that's like just a different side of me. But that's good for this part of the profession.
100%. Before I get you out here, I know for the last one you mentioned like guys were down there with you for whatever. I can't remember what it was that was going on, but obviously I know Bilal didn't make the trip down, but obviously he was very celebratory when you won your fight. Can I ask like who's going to be in your corner this time? Is he going to make the trip down to? Is he going to make the trip down this time? Because I know Bilal and you have become very very good friends. I see him commenting all the time, and I know he's a big part of that camp in Chicago.
Yeah, that's my brother. I've known him for a long time. We just we always when we see each other, it'd always be like we ain't never not seen each other. Pick up right where we left off. So yeah, he's gonna. It's gonna be Bilal, Tuco, Max, and Horacio in my corner. We're all going. The five of us is going to go to war. We're a team. It's a team. It's been a team effort, and I'm going to put on for these guys. They've put so much into me. I'm gonna go out there and give it 100% for them.
I love it. I love it. Well, Vancouver's a great city. I've been there a couple of times, man. It's an awesome city. I don't know. Are you, I hate to bring this up when you're about to do a weight cut, but like, are you a sushi guy?
Not raw sushi. I don't mind cooked sushi.
They have really good sushi in Vancouver. They have all kinds of it. They have really good sushi. And I think the last time I was up there, I want to say it was when Demetrius Johnson fought in the main event. I can't remember what event that was. It was in Vancouver, but I've been there a couple of times. Cool city though. It's a really cool city and good time of year to go up there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I ain't never been there. I'm half Canadian, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like.
Absolutely. Well, Brendan, I appreciate the time as always, man. Obviously, have a great rest of your training camp, man. Safe travels out to Canada for the fight. Can't wait to see you back in there. I love this main event, and I can't wait to see what you go in there and do again. And man, let's talk after another big win.
For sure, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time, man.